I'm James Williams Jr. This is Kung Fu Havoc number 2, and this is the video after my last video because this came up while I was doing a video. So I watch a lot of videos on YouTube, a lot of fights and everything, and it's my guilty pleasure, especially with girls fighting for obviously perverted reasons. I love this stuff. I can't help it. I'm a fighter, so I like watching people square off and pretend that they're MMA fighters and stuff like that. And getting body slammed is a sure account that the guy who body slammed you probably really couldn't fight, so he had to overpower you and slam you on your back. Most people who go for the quick body slam, ground and pound, aren't really fighters. They have strength, but they don't know how to use it. So a quick body slam, drop the air out of a person, probably puts them down for the count. Now, the point I'm making this video is that the last video I was talking about how this young kid who was bullying people got his ass whooped because his pants was below his ass. If you're going to fight, let me give you two important tips that are very important. If you're not a fighter, you should probably listen to this because this may save your life. One, the bigger a person is does not mean that they're going to beat you with a simple body slam. If you have been body slammed, the best thing I can tell you is to put your knees up and try to get as much of the blow between your butt and your shoulder blades as possible. And if you're being body slammed at that time, lock your hand around the back of their head like this and put your forearm into their throat. So while they're slamming you, they're going to hurt themselves, which will give you enough recovery time to get back on your feet and whip their candy ass. I have been body slammed and I have used this technique before. As a martial artist and a street fighter, I know my ground game ain't as great as my hand game or my foot game standing it up. You need to know your weaknesses before you get yourself in a situation that you cannot come back from. Enough said. Secondly, I have 3 rules in a fight. Because I'm a martial artist, the first thing I tell people, 1, never kick first. Ever. Under any circumstances, never tip your hand of letting them know what martial arts skill you know. Because the second you break into the mantis, the tiger, the dragon, the crane, snake, eagle, the second you give up your style of martial arts, they probably can figure out how to beat you. So you want to do it Jeet Kune Do style and do it in a street fighting manner. Now, rule number 2. If a person cannot breathe, they cannot hurt you. So therefore, if a person is trying to hurt you, take out their breath and the body will fall. If a person can't breathe, they can't fight you back. Rule number 3. The bigger they are, the harder they hit you. So it will behoove you to learn how many pressure points that you have in the human body. You have 365 of them. 250 of them will probably kill you dead if you are taught by the right master in the martial arts. No matter what martial arts style you've taken, it's not the style of martial arts that is the best. It is the person who is using the martial art that is the best. Alright? I'm really good with Kung Fu. Somebody who knows karate has been fighting longer than me should probably be able to beat my ass. But it also depends on the arena that we're in. I'm really good at fighting in the streets because there are no rules in the streets. Anything and everything goes. Where if you're fighting in a ring, you aren't allowed to do lethal stuff. No eye gouging, no hits to the throat, no hits to the nuts, no hits to the sternum. But you can hit them in the chest. You can kick them in the thigh. You can try not to break their elbow when they throw a punch at you. Where in the streets, everything I just said is now and void. So if someone throws a punch at you, for karate, you're blocking on the inside and striking. For Kung Fu, which is what I just did, you can block on the inside and strike, but you have to remember, they have their right hand. Did you just block their left hand and you got to get tagged? So you want to get to the outside, you want to pull this part of their arm and push that part of the arm and break it. And slide your fist down and catch them in the throat. So, therefore, you got to fight. Fight to survive. And there is a 5th rule. And the 5th rule is simply this. Live to fight another day. A good run is better than a bad stand. Since I have a hip replacement, running is not an option. Just take this stuff into consideration. As you go into battle, you must know one of 2 things. First, you probably want to wear clothes that actually fit you. You probably want to put your hair up or back in some form or another so that people can't grip it. And number three of all that stuff, when somebody's pulling your hair, you're just gonna have to deal with the pain and deliver pain back to them. Because the second that you get off of them, they're probably going to fuck you up. So you don't want that. So have you learned anything today? I have long hair, and they're just gonna have to pull that shit right on out. Because while they're pulling my hair, I'm striking them in every orifice that considers to be breath. So your throat and your sternum is mine. I'm going to do everything I can to stop you from breathing. Because if you can't breathe, you can't hurt me. If I break your leg, you might still be able to fight back. Because great martial artists know how to break and set their shit back in place. Which could be a problem for novice. So we don't want to deal with that problem. We want to end this fight as quickly and as fast as possible. Now, to quote the game Street Fighter, which is what I generally do when I get into a fight, it's better to give pain than receive it. I also believe in Bison's saying of anyone who opposes me shall be destroyed. Now, I've reworded that a bit, which goes to anyone who opposes me must be destroyed. Not shall be, must be. When you get into a fight, it is really one rule in a fight. Survive at any means necessary. Whether you're in the street, whether you're in a boxing ring or a kickboxing ring, you must survive. Let your survival instincts kick in and your body will do the rest. Try not to get hit in the throat or the chest. These are fatal spots that can end your life. So if you want to do something, then you need to be taught right. Hope you like my poetry as I taught you how to fight. To all, peace be with you, and have a good night. I'm James Williams Jr., just come back with number 2. Be seeing you.